back to the YouTube channel of Pro Enzo Vidz. This is the Ankle Breaker Podcast, episode 44. Now, look, we've had some slight delays with the special guest. Obviously, it's new to him, the StreamYard, and obviously, I don't think he's used to it, so it's all good. If he's watching right now, then keep trying to come on, but, if it doesn't work, then it's all good. I'll try and get you on another time. But, we have to start eventually, and, this is the Ankle Breaker Podcast, episode 44. So, it's a shame that Ben can't come on, the special guest, but Billy, you're here again, and we didn't have the podcast last week, but it's good to have it back again. How are you going?
Yeah, bro. It was a big week last week, so we all had to take a bit of a break, didn't we? But I'm going good, and I just enjoying it, and I can't wait for this week. Finals week 3, the preliminaries. You get to see goes to the grand final now, so it's gonna be a good week of footy. How are you, bro?
Yeah, no doubt. I've been going all right. Big week it was last week. That's why the podcast was on last Monday, but it's all good back this week. And this is the second last episode of the year, so I'm going to try and make the last 2 good ones. It's going to be a heavy week of footy coming up, I'll tell you that much. Preliminary finals, big games, grand final deciders. You can't get any better than that. And I think that the way this week's going to pan out will be massive. It's going to end in tears for some people, but it's going to get in joy for others that make the grand final. We'll see their club make it. So, looking forward to the weekend ahead. But we'll go through some comments, and I can notice a couple of people already. So I'm on my phone, so hopefully the comments come up once I press. So there we go. So I got Cody Games PlayStation here in the chat. How's it going, Cody? Good to see you here, mate. SS Storm fan, hello. Parupi Akawasi, how's it going? Who else? A lot of people. Faraz is here. Faraz says Broncos and Manly to fight for the spoon next year. Joking. Nah, it won't be us. It won't be Broncos or Manly fighting for the spoon. But if it's top 8 next year, then let's just hope that that's the case. Got a lot of people. Got CJ here in chat as well. Wow. There's a lot of people. Ankle Breaker Podcast needs to be sacked after today. I don't know what you mean by that for us, but anyway. Jackie here. Hello, Jackie here. How's it going, mate? And Callum. Wow. Callum, my man. How you going, bro? Good to see you in the live chat as well. Look, good audience. 12 people watching the stream as we speak. So it's not a bad sort of audience. And as we're speaking, Nick, the Dragons fan's here. He's here.
Yes,
it's working. All right, get him on right now. Hopefully this works. Nick, are you there?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly, mate. How are you going?
Good. Sorry, because I just got a Nokia phone temporarily, so I'm just getting used to it, and so I just set it up so it's got all different things and clicking all different ones. So we're on now. So.
All right. No, that's all right, mate. Luckily you still got to come on because I was like, oh no, this may be not working great. But it's good to have you on, Ben. Came at the right time.
No, my name's Nick. My friends put it as Ben on YouTube.
Oh, okay. No, I'm getting a bit confused there. No, sorry about that. Just
blame it on Nokia. If you want to blame it on Nokia.
Nokia's phone, no. Nokia phones. How good are they? But some of them can be a bit shit, not gonna lie. How you going, Nick?
Doesn't have a back camera, so
that's it. How you going?
Yep. I'm going good. Going great.
Thoughts on the Dragons season? Can they make the 8 next year?
Hopefully.
That's all we say.
I don't really know what to say.
Yeah. Tough one, the Dragons. Tough one. Look, it's good to have you on here, Nick. I'm glad to get you on here for the very first time. So, basically, we're just going to go through all the topics as we speak.
Yep.
And, good to have a good audience here. So, also, I just want to say as well that if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel of myself and Rugby League Round Up, please do so. Both our links to our YouTube channels are in the description down below, or pretty much Billy's is there. But I've also linked your Instagram, Nick. So if people want to
Yep.
follow you, then your link's just there. So
And I do have my YouTube channel linked on YouTube as well. So
Yep.
so,
Yeah, I'll link that after the podcast is done. So too easy. Hopefully people can check you out. But anyway, boys, let's get into the podcast today, the topics.
Yep.
Okay. So, topic number one. As always, we review the round of footy it was, and we're going to start with giving our thoughts on how semi-finals footy sort of panned out for us. So, look, just a quick sort of summary about what we think about the round it was, and just sort of go through that. About our general thoughts on it. Was it a good round? Was it, did some games disappoint you? Were some games, did anything stand out to you across the weekend? Just a little bit of a general wrap up right there, basically. So I'll start with you, Nick. What did you make of the semi-finals? Did you enjoy the two games that were displayed across the weekend, or could they be a bit better?
They were very good. Well, at least for my uncle, they're very good. He's an Eels supporter, so they were good on that part. I enjoyed both games. Disappointed about the Sharks losing because I hate Souths. So, I thought they were good. I thought both games were very good. I enjoyed watching them. Just happy the Titans weren't involved in it. If they were, I wasn't going to watch it. So I said that in the beginning of the year. So I enjoyed both of them.
No, how good. That's good to hear. And obviously, Billy, obviously you probably watched both games across the weekend as well. What did you think about them?
I actually really liked the attack of South Sydney and Parramatta. I thought they were very threatening. I feel like Raiders just got outplayed. Eels wanted it more. I think even Ricky Stewart said that Eels wanted it more. And then Sharks just got blown out of the park. Their defense was tissues. It was soft. It was So look, I enjoyed both of them. People probably didn't like it. I don't know, but I didn't mind this round. I'd probably give it maybe 5.5 to a 6 out of 10. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, all right. That's a fair rating. Look, as for what I thought about semi-finals, a shame both games were blowouts, I'm sort of a bit disappointed both games were 13 plus. I really thought that Raiders would turn up and really give it to the Eels and sort of give them a bit of a run for their money. I really thought that after how Canberra played last week against Melbourne, they'll back that up and sort of go again with a bit more intent and a bit more of an effort to sort of know that you're playing Cowboys at prelim. But obviously, I guess you can classify last week's game against 2 weeks ago, the game now when Melbourne played Raiders is their grand final, basically. That's the Raiders' grand final there. So, they couldn't back it up, unfortunately. But, as for the South and Sharks game, that was, a blowout as well. And I thought that would be a really good game, only because I thought Sharks would bounce back after being disappointed to lose against the Cowboys at Shark Park there. I really thought that as well as Souths, Souths would play their best footy, which they did, and I just thought the quality of the game in general would be very tight, So disappointed both games are 13 plus, but not much you can really do. So since the Eels beat the Raiders, they play the Cowboys in Townsville in the preliminary final, and since Souths, beat Sharks fairly well, they play the Panthers in the preliminary finals as well. So just to clarify that, if people didn't know already. All right, going to move on to topic number 2 now, and topic number 2 is just based on something that I saw come up during the week. Very controversial, and it's obviously not a good look, especially for a coach and player point of view. But Brandon Smith, the Cheese, the utility pretty much player for the Storm. Now, I'm guessing after the Storm Raiders game week 1, where the Storm got eliminated, right after Bellamy sort of farewelled players are leaving. So, for example, like Kafusi, the Bromwich boys, and Smith as well was probably one of the departing players. But he did not get a farewell by Craig Bellamy. So Bellamy did not farewell him at all, left him cold pretty much. And I was a bit shocked reading that at first. I was just a bit like, wow, okay. I mean, I obviously did watch the match because I was at Sharks Cowboys that weekend. But seeing that was very shocking, actually, because I thought that Bellyak would at least sort of acknowledge him for some effort he's done for the past couple of years. But I guess not. And that just shows it's a frosty friendship there. So I'll start with you, Billy. What do you make of the whole situation?
Yeah, well, Brandon Smith was done a bit dirty there by Craig Bellamy. I guess they have a bit of a love-hate relationship as seen in the past. I think Brandon Smith snatched Craig Bellamy's granddaughter's lollipop out of her mouth. So yeah, I guess they might have a bit of a love-hate relationship from what I've seen, but maybe they could have actual, you know, bit of disrespect to each other. That's maybe a reason why Brandon Smith left. I really don't know, to be honest, but it's Craig Bellamy's decision to send off who he wants in a manner, I guess, because in that press conference, yeah, I remember he didn't mention Smith, but he mentioned the Bromwich brothers.
Yeah, yeah,
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a huge opinion on it. And, I just think it's a bit of banter, in my opinion.
bit of banter, you reckon? Fair enough. I still think it's a bit strange though, the whole thing where he just sort of left him in the cold there. I don't know if that's banter really, but I suppose that they only know what's happened between themselves, I guess. Nick, what do you reckon about this? Like, do you think that Craig Bellamy has done Brandon Smith dirty here by not acknowledging him or giving him any praise for what he's done at Melbourne the past couple of years, not farewelling him, or do you think it's just a case of you know, just a case of him not saying Brandon Smith's name? Like, what do you think about it?
I really don't really have much of a opinion on it. I actually didn't know he didn't mention him. I didn't watch that game, so
Oh,
I
yeah,
was at the New South Wales Cup game, so I wasn't there for that. So I actually haven't heard of this before. So I suppose maybe after all the drama with the Roosters stuff, maybe they're still not getting along. I guess I'm not really sure.
yeah, fair enough. Do you think that the way sort of Bellamy and Smith had this frosty relationship where Smith's kind of mucked up a few times around Bellamy, a premier coach like him would have probably pissed him off, would you reckon?
I think anything can piss Bellamy off. I think we've seen that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no, it's true. That's true. Bellamy is a very angry man, unfortunately.
nice guy though, but
yeah,
met him on a few occasions. Very nice guy, but easy to piss off. So
yeah. No,
uh,
he's hot tempered, that's for sure.
yeah,
But yeah, no, look, as for what I think about it, I wouldn't I wouldn't blame Bellamy, to be honest. I think Bellamy, he's a coach. He doesn't really need to put up with shit all the time from one player in particular. Because apparently Smith is the guy who instigates a lot of, a lot of banter, a lot of trouble and stuff like that, which time to time's okay, but I think it's repeated, and I think Bellamy doesn't like that. So it's like yeah, not good, not a good look for him, I suppose, as well, and it's not like something that he deserves, So I can't blame Bellamy for leaving Smith in the cold there. I really can't. I really can't, because Smith is a bit of an arrogant character anyway, I must say. So the Cheese, I guess, he needs to take that one. Take that one, unfortunately. I mean, it sucks to be him to not get a farewell, but done it to himself. So
Pro Enzo, I just wanted to say one thing. Just like
yeah.
to say that my condolences to the royal family. If you wouldn't mind, just
Oh yeah.
mention that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thanks for mentioning that. Obviously, it was sad about Queen Elizabeth's death. So, yeah, hopefully the family and the royal families, all doing okay, because that would have been hard to sort of
Yeah,
take in, I guess.
I just
Um,
thought I'd mention that as well. So
yeah, yeah, no, that's right. Thanks for reminding me, Nick.
yeah.
Um, okay, on to topic number 3 now, and this is about your team and basically one of your players. So. Tyrell Sloan, eh? I don't know how much information you've probably heard on this, but there has been talk that Sloan does apparently want to release him the Dragons because he isn't playing his preferred position at fullback, and Ramsey is there instead, and he wants a starting position going forward. And the Dolphins are one of the clubs that apparently approached Tyrell Sloan. So I guess if Dolphins are keen, then they'll probably get their first real fullback signing, if that's the case. But wow, I was surprised because I think Sloan's got a big future, and I thought that his future would really be at the Dragons. But if he's requesting release at a young age like that, then that's not good. So I guess it's time to get some Dragons fans' opinions on it. So I'll start with you, Nick. What do you reckon about the whole situation? Like, are you upset that Sloan could be leaving or could be departing?
I am upset because I really like him. I think he's a really good player. Really like him at the club. But I prefer Ramsey at fullback personally, but I'd like Sloan to stay at the Dragons. I think he's really a good hope and good talent and someone that could stay at the club for a long time. Same as Cherry Evans, like be a one-man club player. I hope he doesn't leave. But I just think we need to not kick the ball to him because we can't rely on him catching it. So,
Yeah.
And also apparently the Dolphins. Yeah. We've heard so many names. It's hard to kind of keep track on that. But
that's right.
I mean, someone said the Bulldogs last week with Sloan, then Raiders said it. So
everyone Dogs.
Yeah. I think everybody wants him.
Yeah.
I personally didn't like Griffin putting him on the wing for the Tigers and Broncos game.
I agree.
But I'd like him to be in the side, but in a better use. Not sure where that is personally.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't think he's a winger going forward. I think he's definitely a fullback. He's definitely a fullback. And
at least he can run faster than Moga. That's all I can say on the wing.
Oh yeah, well that's true. Moga's a bit of a pedestrian in my opinion.
I went to the game and I watched it back on my phone. It looked like it was in slow motion. So.
Oh yeah. Well, at least Sloan has more potential. I will put it that way.
He does, most definitely.
Yeah. Rugby League Round Up. What's your take on the whole situation, mate?
Very pissed off, very mad, because I've backed Sloan all the way since day one. People a lot of Dragons fans have gone at him. There's been people who've come out and sent death threats to him. He deleted his Instagram for about 3 days as well. So during that time, I've backed him all the way through, and I'll be very mad if he leaves because, well, our club has done this so many times, and it gets more annoying every single time it happens. And you know what? Even though I think Ramsey is a better fullback, I think he can be more versatile in the back line because he can play winger, centre. So, for me, Tyrell Sloan just has to have a really good off-season if he stays with us. He has to have a really good off-season, gain a bit more kilos. He's got to start getting Ben Hunt to start launching bombs up at him because he's got to learn how to catch the ball from now on if he wants to start being in the starting side. So, in my opinion, I want him to stay, and I don't really believe anything Buzz Rothfield and David Riccio says. So, I'm a bit, on the edge there, whether to believe that report or not. But I can understand if he is unhappy because I'd be unhappy if I wasn't getting game time too. And I think everyone that doesn't play is unhappy. So, that's just my opinion.
I'll just say, Billy, so when I go and watch the New South Wales Cup, Sloan's different. If you come and watch him in the Cup, he catches every ball. It's a weird thing. You'll see him, he catches every ball in the Cup. But when he turns back to NRL, he just can't.
Yeah.
One of those things, I guess.
It's one of those things.
Yeah, maybe it's a confidence thing. Maybe it's just the way he is in reserve grade. Maybe it's just a better grade for him. I'm not sure, but hopefully Sloan comes because I remember him debuting last year in 2021, and I was like, okay, I think this guy has a big future. So I just hope that maybe he can get a bit more opportunities, a bit more chances next year. I hope he doesn't leave Dragons straight away because I just feel like if he leaves Dragons straight away to go to a new system at the Dolphins where he's unfamiliar with most of the players there and the team, I just think that for a rookie that might hurt him a little bit. So I think he should just bide his time and suck it up and sort of just compete for your spot in the off-season, because I think even though Ramsey is probably the preferred fullback, he's not guaranteed to be there because I think Hooks, probably has probably backed, Sloan before when he started fullback the year at fullback Sloan. So can't see why he can't get there again. So if I was him, definitely bide your time and definitely just compete for your spot, I reckon, rather than request a release.
May I say also that these journalists, I'm not trying to hate on them, but they've done this so many times to our club. They did it with Junior Ramon. They've done it with Jaden Sullivan. They're doing it with Ben Hunt. They did it with Jack Bird all this year. And they're also starting to do it with Jaden Sewer as well, even though he didn't request a release. And our club came out and made a statement about that. So that's five players that these exact same journalists, and James Hooper as well has done it, have come out and made reports that aren't even true. So that's why I'm a bit untrusting towards them. That's all I have to say.
Fair point.
Yeah, definitely fair point, especially with the Dragons, especially.
100%. Okay. On topic number 4, and topic number 4 is something that I find pretty interesting because I don't know what club will pick him up, and I hope he gets another club because I believe that he's still someone that has a bit to offer. Well, he thinks so. He thinks so anyway, and that's Andrew Fafita. And I think Andrew Fafita has had a great career, especially at the Sharks, winning the comp back in 2016, getting the match-winning try as well. Played for Australia, has played for Tonga. He's had a decent career, and I think that he should be rewarded with a new contract elsewhere, as he isn't going to stay at the Sharks, and he wanted to leave because got young forwards like Colquhoun, Wilson, Rudolph, and let all these other props come forward as they're younger and have a bit more potential to go with. Whereas I think Fafita's hit his peak and doesn't have much to offer. But he believes he has something to offer for another year at least, whether that's a bit of experience or a bit of depth. So I guess the question is, where do you see Andrew Fafita going? Billy, I'll start with you. What do you think about the Fafita thing? Where will he go?
He's keen to reunite with the West Tigers, and that for me is a key factor into what's going to happen. I think the Tigers, they need some front rowers because, James Talmo, I believe he's gone. And Alex Twell, who knows what's going to happen because of the concussion injury. And Joaf and Gow is a pretty solid lock, so they don't have a lot of front rowers. So if they sign Andrew Fafita, I think it'd be a very good signing. Not like it wouldn't have been as good as he was in 2016. We all know that, but I reckon he'll be a good enough because I reckon he'll add a lot of experience to the forward pack. He'll lead them. He knows a lot, in my opinion. He's won grand final. He's played 250 games. So yeah, it would be a great addition for the Tigers, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Nick, what's your thoughts for Fafita? Do you think he'll get a new club somewhere? And if so, where do you reckon?
I heard about the West Tigers. I think that's a possibility, but apparently his brother plays in the Super League.
Yeah,
and I heard that he was interested in joining. I think it's Wigan or it's Wigan. I think his brother plays reserve grade in the Super League. So I heard that one. But I personally think the Tigers would be a good club for him. The Tigers, and I also think the Dragons would be a good addition for Andrew. Only because we're both originally from the same place. So, and I think along with Francis Molo and a couple other young props we got, I think he would be a good addition to us or the West Tigers personally.
It's funny you mentioned that, Nick, because I remember last year, early last year, Andrew
Rumours.
Fafita was actually linked to the Dragons as well. I actually remember making a video about that too. Just the talk he could go there. Didn't happen, but like that was the rumor at the time that it was going to happen. So it could happen. Dragons are an option, that's for sure. But I have to agree with what most people are saying in the chat and that. I think Tigers are the most obvious option. He started his career off there. He's even said he's open to a return to the club that gave him his debut back in 2009 or 10. And I think it'd be a good addition for the Tigers because they need some long rule and they need some real forward leaders. And I know they've got some leaders in Tamo and that, but he's leaving now. So like maybe getting Fafita would be a lot better, on a cheaper deal. Basically just for the year of experience and the year of just I guess running this young Tigers team because next year Tigers going to be very young apparently after losing Tamo, Roberts with a bit of experience. So he'd be a good pickup, and Tim Sheens I believe was the guy who gave him his debut originally as well when Tim Sheens was at the Tigers coaching. So and since he's back next year being the full-time coach, he may bring him back. So we'll see what happens. But I do believe in general that Fafita has lots to offer still as a player. I think that he provides that experience, provides that, I guess, extra sort of intensity, with his impact. So I like it if Dragons or Tigers, something like that gets him.
But I think for a young Tigers pack that they're going to kind of have inexperienced, I think his leadership would be really good for their forward pack. If they're going to have any hope at finals football, more experience, not Tamo or Roberts, but I think Fafita. So I personally think West Tigers, hoping Dragons, but West Tigers personally.
Yeah, that's it. Now in the chat, Warriors NRL Fanatic said Super League possibly. Yeah, that's another option too. I think Super League can definitely use his services, no doubt. But we'll see. Again, we'll see what happens. I suppose it's going to be very interesting to see where he does end up. Okay, on to the last topic of the show. This is about the Eels, and this is a club where, look, I'll be honest, I don't like Para because I'm a Manly fan, and I've always grown up not liking the Eels too much. So, but I guess they're in the prelim now for the first time since 2009. They're 80 minutes away from a grand final. And like it'll be pretty surreal if they did get there because it's been such a long time, and obviously they've broken one drought and not making it for over a decade, but they could break another if they were to win it after 36 long odd years. But just quietly hope it doesn't happen. But but like I think that the question is to be asked is that are they the real deal, Para? Like they did beat the Raiders last week, but Raiders didn't turn up one bit. And against Penrith, the game I was at week 1, they got exposed badly by a good Panthers team in Penrith. I'll start with you, Nick. Do you think Parramatta can go the whole way this year? Like, do you think they're a contender or a pretender, in your opinion?
My uncle would be hoping I say pretend they would, but I'm going to say no. I don't have much belief in Para at all. And I think if they're going to have any chance, it will be this season. With the players leaving next year, I don't see them having any hope beyond this year. But yeah, I think they have a chance. But I'd probably tip the Cowboys over the Eels.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm sort of thinking the actual same as well. Really, are they contenders or pretenders?
I'm different to you blokes. I've said it since the start of the year. I think they'll make the grand final, and if not, I reckon they can win it. Look, they've been really inconsistent this year. They've lost to the Bulldogs, they've lost to the Tigers, but we can't forget that they beat the Panthers twice. The only team to do that in the regular season. I know that second game was without Cleary, but he sent himself off. So. They beat them twice. They beat Melbourne Storm. I don't know how many times. I think that was only one time they versed them. But yeah, they can show that they've beat some big teams in the competition, but they've just lost to some really bad teams. So it's on the day for me. It depends on the day. If they go in there wanting to win, and they're ready to like be really tough defensively and be great in attack because they got some great attacking players. Dylan Brown, you know, uh, Mitchell Moses. They've been working really well together this year. Same as Clint Gutherson. So if those three can be on fire this Friday, they can definitely get into the grand final. And my prediction is that they will win it.
The whole thing, like
The whole
obviously.
thing. I reckon they'll win the whole thing.
Wow, really? Yeah. Wow, interesting.
It's a big call, but I reckon it will happen. I've been saying it since the start of the year. I reckon it can happen for sure, and I reckon it will.
All right, look, I have to say that I don't think they're a contender in my opinion. They're look they're one of the more remaining teams in the comp. Like obviously there's four teams left in the comp. Obviously they're up there. They're a chance to I guess go the whole way. And I guess that they're once you're in a prelim, once you're like another win away from the grand final, then I guess you're a chance. But as for being a contender, no, I can't go that far with them. I mean, I still can't get over the fact that you beat Melbourne and Melbourne, you beat Penrith and Penrith, but then you lose to the Bulldogs by 30 points on the Queen's birthday, and then you lose to Tigers by a point. Like, I don't understand. Like, they're too inconsistent, and I just think that like if you are to be a contender and if you are to go the whole way in this competition, then you need to be a lot better against the mediocre teams. Like, you can't just come that mentality of being like, oh, okay, we got to turn up for this big game against Panthers or Storm because they're a big team. We've got to try and make an impression because they're a big side. We've got to beat them. But you can't just slack off and go, okay, we're playing the Bulldogs, we're playing Tigers, we're playing like a Titans. We're not going to go as hard because we're just going to win, you know. I feel like that there's an attitude amongst the team that they're, you know, a bit too lazy and a bit not great when it comes to playing mediocre teams because I think they just underestimate them and they don't really treat it like it's another game. They treat it more as a guaranteed win. That's why they probably lost against the Dogs and lost to the Tigers this year. So I don't think they're consistent enough. You know, they need to be on the job all the time. They need to have the right headset, especially. And that's where I think guys like or teams, I should say, like Penrith and Cowboys are a bit more better because I feel like they are a bit more trustworthy. You know, so I think that they are pretenders in my opinion. But if they beat Cowboys this week in Townsville in a hot and sunny Townsville with the conditions are crazy there. You know, they haven't been yet. If they can win somehow there, then you know, I guess you can call them contenders. But I don't think they are going to go the whole way this year, even if they do make the grand final. That's just me anyway. Thoughts?
Yep, that's a fair point, bro. That's definitely a fair point.
Yeah, fair point. Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll see how they go this week on Friday. Big game, Cowboys and Eels. All right. We're up to the very last sort of segment of the show now. So now I don't do team of the weeks because of less clubs now. Obviously, it falls. You know, teams are getting eliminated every week now, and there's not really much players to pick from for making a team of the week. So before the show started, I changed it to just player of the round. So you know, just you boys give your player of the round for semi-finals and like who you believe was a standout player of the week, and yeah, just go from there, I guess. So I'll start with you. Sorry, Billy. Who is your player of the round for the semi-finals?
For me, and it's by far, I think it's Dylan Brown. I just thought like the excellence, like he was brilliant last Friday. He didn't really need to defend much, but his attack was amazing. He made 330 meters, and as a 5'8", that is very exceptional. So 10 out of 10 performance from him on Fridays, and literally he was what won him the game more than Mitchell Moses, I reckon. I think he had a bigger impact, and I think they would have gone missing without him a lot on Friday. So yeah, credit to him, and hopefully he goes well this against the Cowboys this week.
What about you, Nick? Do you have a player of the round for semi-finals, like a standout player?
I'm thinking of two people, so I have to. I agree with Dylan Brown. I think he was really good. Surprised how much his form's improved this season. And also, I personally, Junior Paulo for me, thought he was really good for Parramatta. Just hard runs, really good. That's really, and we both play the same position, so it's kind of why I have to pick him as well. So,
Oh yeah, fair enough, mate. Okay, well, I do think that them two are good choices that you've both picked. But as for who I'm going to go with, I agree with what some of the boys in the comments are saying. I actually will go with Cameron Murray as my player of the round. I thought Cam Murray was exceptional on Saturday night, led South from up front really well. Look, Murray's a complete player. You know, he's always consistent, tackles well, plays hard. Got good ball ruck speed around the middle as well, which you need in the game today. And he's great captain for South Sydney. So I think Cameron Murray's my player of the round. But I don't disagree with Brown or Paulo either. What's Rugby League Round trying to show there? Aaron Ward's best forward in the game. good joke.
the cheapest one in the game.
The cheapest one, the oldest one.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. But look, that brings an end to the podcast for episode 44. This is the second last podcast of the year. So next week when it's episode 45, it's the official last. So was a good episode. I really enjoyed it, and just thankful that Nick, that you got to come on time, because I was obviously a little bit worried that you wouldn't make it, but good to have you on, mate.
Right. Thanks for having me. I just want to say, do you think about the Super League Grand Final? Both for you.
St. Helens.
St. Helens and my team obviously were taking Leeds. Leeds have no Aiden Caesar, and I forgot the other name who's out, but they're going to struggle, I reckon, in the grand final. I'm not going to be too cocky and get carried away, but I think Saints will win well, I reckon. We'll go on a 4-peat. But yeah,
13 plus St. Helens.
That's it. St. Helens 13 plus. St. Helens 13 plus. But all right, chat. Thanks for watching the podcast. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and go and check out my channel. And I'm currently a couple of subscribers away from 2,350 subscribers. So that's obviously the goal to get probably by early next week or late next week. That's probably the next goal for my channel. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and go and check out Nick's Instagram and Billy's channel as well. But thanks everyone. See you next week.